these are a couple of books that I'd suggest that you have a look at. Seth Godin is the book that I talked about, Purple Cow. Blue Ocean Strategy, which is sitting here right now. And right at the moment, I'm suggesting to a lot of clients, and I don't get anything for this, but I'm suggesting to clients, particularly in lockdown, that they used, if they don't have time to read or they don't have the capacity to read. I'm not a big reader, but going to the gym, sitting on a treadmill, I'm very, very comfortable listening to audiobooks. And you can go to Audible. I tried that, a little bit more expensive, but Scribd, I think that's how you present it. It's about $15 a month and unlimited. So Purple Cow is a great book to go through. Blue Ocean Strategy is a really, really good one. And Simon Sinek, Understand Your Why. A couple of really good books to go through. Purple Cow, I want to give you a bit of an explanation about what that concept is. And this is what I've talked about earlier about being remarkable. Let's just say we're driving to Sydney. So we're allowed out of Melbourne and we're driving to Sydney, and we're on the Hume Highway, left-hand side. We go past a paddock. On the left-hand side, there's about 100 cows. We'll notice that. Very first up, we've just gone past the Ford factory, 100 cows left-hand side. Then we go up a little bit further, there's some more cows. We might notice that. We're driving along for about 15, 20 minutes. There's cows on the left-hand side. They're just going to we'll become immune to it. We're not even going to notice it. We're driving an hour into our trip, and we drive by a paddock, and inside that paddock is 100 cows, but one of them's purple. I can almost guarantee you're going to notice that purple cow. You'll also notice everything else around it, but you will notice that purple cow. That's the philosophy of the purple cow structure. Become remarkable. At the end of the day, it's still a cow. So my suggestion to you is develop a model in your business which is about becoming remarkable and developing that purple cow. So again, look at the onboarding process that stands out from your competitors. What does everyone else do? Well, we've probably already ascertained that most people do nothing to onboard their clients. They don't have a plan. So here's the structure that I'm looking at suggesting with you guys. So this is what I would suggest. Before you meet the client, so have a look at that as part of your program. So what's on your website? Have a look at that. Have a look at the phone call into reception. Is it well greeted? Is reception trained and understand how to take a new business inquiry? Or is it really fumbly and pretty ordinary? If that's the first experience that your clients get, it's going to go nowhere. Are you being passed around to 3 or 4 different people in the office? Or is there someone at the end of the phone call? Have you developed a system and training for your staff to be able to actually take on board that first call so they're not being stuffed around and duplicating themselves? Talk to the receptionist and then talk to the PM. What is the process? Develop that in through to there. If it's a chat bot, great. If it's an email inquiry, often when I'm working with clients, the very first thing that I do is I jump onto their email and I send them through an inquiry, and I wonder how long it takes I track how long it takes for them to get back to me. Often I don't get anything, because it might go to someone's email and then they'll look at it and say, oh, that was just Michael just being silly. But it's really interesting to see, get someone to do almost a mystery shopper to your own office. So before you meet the client, during the listing presentation, we're going to cover that after the presentation, and then the touch points. But this is what I'm looking for developing along the way. I'm happy to share this with you guys. And if you get some benefit out of it, then great. So the initial relationship really starts from that first contact. How is it being done? Where possible, try and use Zoom. If it's possible, try and say to the client from the get-go, if the receptions come through, send them through an email and say, is it possible that we can actually meet up by Zoom? And face-to-face, belly-to-belly. You might not be able to be in the property, but don't pick up the phone. Try and do Zoom. This is so much more personable than just a phone call from someone that they don't know. How many people in your competitor sphere will do that? Almost none. Again, automate the process. If you've gone through this process where each person needs to do a certain thing within the timelines, make sure it's automated, make sure it's set up in the diary, use a CRM that actually is automated. I use Entreport. I'm not saying to use that, I just use that. There's lots of CRMs. There's Eagle, there's Box and Dice, there's Rex, there's all sorts of different CRMs. Property Me and Property Tree is not a CRM. Property Me, Property Tree is a trust accounting software. So very first thing, if you haven't got a CRM, get one, because this is where you need to be. Even IRE to a lesser degree, it's not really a CRM that I look at from a customer relationship point of view. Yes, it leases properties, but it's a customer relationship. How do you develop a creating that interaction with your customer? Firstly, do you have a trust software? Does it track your activity with your customers and have leads and sales funnels and stuff like that? If not, then by all means do so. Get permission from your tenants and applicants to see whether they can actually go into your database, and try and follow them up. Your BDM should be following up every person that comes through. Manage your conversions. Have a look at your database. Right now, right at this point, we're in lockdown. Great opportunity to go through and do a bit of a clean out. Do some emails. If you send out an email to 3,000 people and you get 50 people bounce back, that's okay. 2,950 accepted it. If you do another email, another 50 bounce back, that's okay. You want to clean that. So have a strategy for regularly updating. This could be a source, or it could be a program where your VA is looking at this. Again, if you want to take a photograph of a slide, this is one that I'd most certainly have a look at. These are the sorts of things that right now where this is the new business. I talked a little bit before about being accessible, about being 24/7, about using technology. Whether it's Skype, whether it's Zoom. Yesterday I was on a session and I was saying to some people to use Otter to record some of their notes, their minutes. That's an audio service. Trello, of course, I use Trello, very, very big Trello user. And some of these different services. Alo, if you've not looked at that, it's a really good product. Ben White and Ashley have that, and that's a great product for predictability. So have a look at this now, and have a look at the way in which are you really using technology well.